Hi everyone. So this is me to a T. I've left this right to the last minute. I need to make at least 6 gift boxes. And I've been sat thinking, what can I make that I haven't made for the recipients before? And I've decided I'm going to have a go at making the twist top cracker gift box. It will make sense when I finish this and put this together. So if I take in my scoreboard, I'm going to be working on the centimetre side for this one. I've got myself a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and this is about a 260 GSM. I'm going to pop that on my scoreboard, and I need to score this at 3.5 centimetres, 11 centimetres, and 25 centimetres. So we've scored down at 3.5, 11, and 25. I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to score this down at every 7 centimetres. So that's 7, 14, 21, and 28. And that's all we need for the scoring board. So if you look at this piece of 12 by 12 cardstock that we've got 20 grids. What I'm going to do is turn this over, and I'm going to fold and burnish all my score lines. And they're all mountain folds. I'm going to turn it round and fold away. And then if we just do that last one. There we go. So now we've got a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock all scored and burnished. Now you'll find you've got a smaller width at the top, then a square, then a big square, and then this slightly smaller than a full square at the bottom. And then you've got this line of rectangles going down the side. So this line of rectangles going down the side, you need to the right of you, so that this smaller square is at the top. It's a half square is at the top. Taking in our ruler, and we are working with centimetres. On the second line of squares down, we're going to line that up corner to corner, and we're going to draw a faint line. And while we've got the ruler there, we're going to mark this. We're going to put a little mark at 4 centimetres and 6 centimetres. And we're going to do exactly the same on all 4 squares. So that's 4 centimetres and 6 centimetres. Making sure you've got that first mark of the ruler on the point of the square. 4 centimetres and 6 centimetres. And then this last one, just bring that across a tiny bit. There we go. 4 centimetres and 6 centimetres. So this is what we have. So the second line of squares down, we've gone all the way from left hand top to right hand corner, and we've put a little mark at 4 centimeters and 6 centimeters. Now you can use anything you want for this, basically any shape you want, but I'm going to use a circle. So I've got a circle die here which measures from outside to outside. That's 3¼ inches. You can use a bigger one if you want to. It's entirely up to you. And what we're going to do is going to line that up with the first mark, which was the 4 centimeter mark, and I'm just going to draw that around so that we get this shape. And then I'm going to take this up to the top of the 6 centimeter mark, and I'm going to draw around that shape. So we've now got this going on. And now if we do exactly the same from the 4 centimeter down to the point, we're going to draw another line, take this up to the top of the 6 centimeter mark, and we're going to draw around that one. Oh dear. So again on the next one, on the 2 centimeter mark, we're going to come down and around there. I'm going to take this up on the 6 centimeter mark. We're going to draw around that one. And then the last one, the 4 centimeter, and take that up and do the 6 centimeter. I think this is the hardest part of this, is the drawing, but it's well worth it. So this is what we've now ended up with. It's like we've got these 4 cushion shapes, and then these 2 that are just going off of the edges. And this is when we start to do the old-fashioned real crafting work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this around so that the shorter end is facing me, and on this line from the 4 centimeter mark down to this corner, I'm going to cut, and again from that 4 centimeter I'm going to follow that all the way around that pencil line, so we end up taking out this tiny piece from this corner. And now it's all about just following your pencil lines. So from that point, from the top to that point, from the bottom up to the point, from this point around to your 6 centimeter mark, and then across the top. Now hopefully that should just fall straight out. So we've got this, what I would call a cushion shape going on, and we're basically going to do the same with all of those squares. Now you will see that there is a tiny line of pencil in between each one. They need to stay, so don't be tempted to cut those. that's number 2. It doesn't take long, but it is it's well worth doing. It means that you can make a gift box, which is slightly different, and you don't need any ribbon or anything to attach it. Now with this last one on the right hand side, you'll notice we've got this side piece. We're going to come from the point down to the second, which is the 6th mark, and then we're going to come from the 6th mark again down to the corner. And what we've ended up with now is this tiny flappy piece, which we're just going to snip off. So if you cut up your score line to the first score line and just take those away. So this is now what we're left with. At this stage I would rub out those pencil marks. They're not going to show, they're going to be on the inside, but I just think it's nice to rub those out. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. Now on this flappy bit on the right hand side, we're just going to take an angled slither off of there, and then again on this top one we're going to take an angled piece off of there. And with this bottom row of squares facing you, this end triangle, we're going to go all the way up the score line to the first score line, and we're going to take that one away completely, and then I'm going to put an angled piece on the end of there. And then if I take in my bigger scissors, these 4 bottom ones, we need to just cut up the score line to the first score line on all 4. Well, actually it's all 3. There's 4 squares, but it's 3 lines. And at this stage you want to decide which one of these you want to be the bottom of the box. And I think I'm going to keep this one, this first one. So if we tuck that one up out of the way, all the rest of these we need to take off a tiny slither just on an angle. And all this does is avoids there being too much bulk. And that last one. So this first one we've done nothing with. Okay. Now at this stage you can decide which side you want as your front and which side you want as your inside. It really doesn't matter. But there's a couple of things to do at this stage. The first thing I would do is fold that towards me. Give that a really nice burnish. And then these, what we're calling cushion shapes, we need to fold back. Now, if you line this score line up with this score line, so that it's nice and straight, and give that a press down. And if you do that with all of them, just get the score lines lined up and give these a really nice burnish. What we've ended up with now is this. So we're getting there. At this stage, if you want to make this into a frilly edge, this is when you would do this. Now, I've only got this one punch, so I'm going to have a go, and I'm going to see how I go with it. I don't know if it's going to do anything major, and I don't really know how far to... There we go. So we're just going to go all the way along. Sorry about the noise. And we're just going to give this a pretty edge. It's not perfect, but oops. I think that's absolutely fine. So we've got a nice frilly edge going on. And now it's all about decorating. We're not going to decorate this panel. We're going to decorate these 4 panels. So for this one, I thought I would use some gold Miri card. Don't like that piece. And these panels, these 4 panels, measure 2 3/4 by 5.5. So we need to cut 4 pieces at 2.5, 2.5 by 5.25, 2.5 by 5.25. Don't throw those little pieces away. 2.5 by 5.25, and do that 4 times. And the last one, 2.5 by 5.25. So if we bring this in, this is going to be the base. We could do this pretty green. Yeah. So this one needs to be cut at 2.25 by 5. So actually, if we do this way, 2.25. And then if we do that by 5, we can take that one along and cut that one at 5. Now remember, if you're using directional paper, you will need to take that into consideration. 2.25 by 5. There we go. So these really are quite quick once you start getting into them. Now this line across the top, I want to just put a line. I think that measures measures 1/2 inch. So if I make this, I'll cut that at 1/2 inch, and we'll see where we, yeah, I think that'll be fine. So that's a strip across the top. So there we go. This is all our pieces cut. So if we get our first strip down, just get a nice amount of glue all the way down this strip. And from the scored line all the way along the bottom, we're going to add this strip, and this is just purely for decoration. Pop that one down. Now I'm going to mat these patterned papers onto the Miri paper. And now we just need to get these glued on to our cracker. So even border all the way around. Give that a nice press down. And the second one. And then the last one. So these are really quick. As I say, they're really quick to make. I think it's just the measuring and drawing of the lines to start with that take the time, but once you've done that, they're really quick and easy to put together. Now if I pop this over, I'm just going to cut off the edge of that bit of border. So this is where we are at the moment. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to fold and burnish in these tabs, and I'm going to run some glue all the way down that tab, and I'm going to spread that around with my finger a little bit. And then on this tab I'm just going to put some, whether solid cardstock. Move that around a little bit. I'm going to bring this across, and I'm going to let those fall, and they should marry up perfectly. Give those a really, really firm press down. Now at this stage I would wait for this to dry before I go any further. But that's all looking okay. Okay, so if we turn this upside down, we decided that this one I can see is the one that we didn't miter the edges. So I'm going to pop the first one in, and I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of glue there, pop that one across. This back one, put some glue all over the back, and I'm going to bring that one across. And then one that we didn't miter, when we level that up with the bottom of the box, that should square everything up. So if we bring this one over, square it up as best as possible. Give that one a press down. And at this stage, if you've got a long bone folder, just give that a really nice firm press down inside. If you haven't got a long bone folder, then you can use your ruler, just something to really get that press down. Basically, to shut this now, all you do is push this down, and that is now locked. And to open this up, you will pull this out. You might want to have a little play around with this. Do it a couple of times before you get this exactly how you want it. But in theory, this is how the box looks when it's locked. And when you want to open it, you just pull it out. I can't go too mad with it at the moment because it's not completely dry. But there's the box closed. How beautiful is that? Really quick and easy. Now there's no need to tie a ribbon around this. There's, you know, that's going to stay down when all the sides are dry, and I can really get that pressed down. That is going to stay down, and that is going to stay shut, locked. But we need to wait for the glue to dry. Really pretty. I might make a tag for this one, and then just attach a tag so that I can pop a name on it. But there we go. So I've got another 5 of these to crack on and make. I'm really pleased with that. Well, I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed my little video. Hope you can have a go at this. They are really easy to make. And until the next time. Bye for now.